All right, so you bought your new set of clubs. Hopefully you haven't, because you're not gonna like me, because guess what? Driver, you definitely don't need that. 3-wood, probably don't need that either. 5-wood, probably not either. Lob wedge, that better be gone. Sand wedge, we might let you off with that one. Evens, I don't like evens, so let's get rid of the 6, let's get rid of the 8, let's get rid of the wedge, let's get rid of the gap wedge. 5-iron, yeah, not good enough to hit that one, so we don't need that. It's gonna come to around about this, and I'm being serious. Listen, you don't need all these tools in your bag. If you're a beginner golfer and you want to break 100, what we've got to do is have a club that puts the ball in play, some form of a hybrid. We need a club that we can hit and middle-ish distance, maybe around about 130, 140, and then we need something from around the greens and something to get out of a bunker. And then of course we need the old putter. So yes, you might hate me for this because you just bought that beautiful set of golf clubs with all the shiny wrappers on it, but what I want you to do is strip it down to this basic set. Like I said, 5 clubs in the bag, putter being the most important, a go-to club, a 7-iron, a 9-iron, and a sand wedge. So that is step 1, trust me. So now that we've stripped it down to the clubs that you actually need, I know you've been sold on the full set, but the point is, this is what you need. You're gonna earn your way to more clubs. So we're gonna show you how to get more clubs in your bag when you actually need them. But what we don't need to do is make this game any harder than it already is. So what you're gonna think now is, as a beginner golfer, is where you need to start is out on the driving range. Well, guess what? You're not going to. You're gonna start right out here, out on the golf course, because I've got to explain to you the actual game of golf. You see, most golf pros are gonna teach you how to swing the club. They're not going to teach you how to score. Let me give you an example. If you're a British person and you came to America and they said to you, I'm going to teach you how to play American football, okay? That's the one that you guys play with your hands. You would not expect me to go ahead and just be taught how to throw a spiral. That is part of playing American football. The quarterback gets to throw a spiral. But in the game, there's an offense and a defense, right? And there are 4 downs. And what you do is you have these 4 downs. And if you get to a 4th down, you kick it. And then you score a touchdown and you get this many points. And then you score a field goal, and you get this many points. And this is how the game works, right? This is how you win the game. Well, what we've got to do is, if you want to break 100, it's about score, not swing. So we've got to teach you how to score. The only place to do that is here out on the golf course. So now you'd expect that we're going to start here on the tee box, but guess what? We're not. What we're going to do is go right up to the putting surface, and we're going to teach you how to putt, because the thing is, for the best players in the world, for a scratch golfer, someone who's going to shoot 72, 36 of those strokes are going to be done with this club right here, your putter. So if 50% of your business is based on this putting, why would you not actually be out on the putting green more often than you are on the driving range? Because the game is taught poorly, because we're told we've got to get a good swing first. We've got to be able to hit a driver. No, it's a complete load of nonsense. I've done this for long enough to know we've got to learn how to putt, and when we do get back here, we've got to learn how to keep the ball in play. So let's go from here to the putting green and work from the hole all the way back to this tee box. I want you to go ahead and download my coaching protocol on how to break 100 in your first 30 days. It's going to show you step by step what you need to do in each practice session to ensure that you improve your game to break 100 within your first 30 days. Okay, so here we are on the putting surface on what they call the green. This is the game of golf right here. Some people say, I love putt-putt. Well, guess what? This is kind of the putt-putt thing right here. Why is it the game of golf? Because 50% of golf shots are played on the putting surface if you play to a scratch handicap. 72 is what a scratch player will shoot around a golf course. That's 18 fours in theory. And on each hole you have 2 putts and 2 shots to get on the green. So this is why what we're going to do is we're going to start off with the most important part of the game, which is putting. Now, we're not going to do the short putting because a lot of times it tightens it up. It gets us tense and nervous. And what if I miss the putt? What we're going to do is we're going to do long putting. So what I want you to do is take 3 golf balls, grab your putter, and we're going to go ahead and just get comfortable with what's called pace putting, long putts, okay? And just getting a rhythm on hitting these putts. So let's talk about the fundamentals of putting. Now, if you're a new golfer, you're looking to break 100, okay? Or maybe you've been playing a while but haven't broke 100. You're gonna hear all this stuff from your friends about, well, you gotta set up and you gotta get your eyes over the golf ball and you have to have your hands hang down and you have to have your grip on the club and your 2 hands have to come together. And then what you gotta do is you gotta keep your head very still. And once your head's nice and still, you just need to go ahead and make sure that your backstroke, it goes back evenly and through evenly. And then as you go through, you release your hand. Look, it's all information you don't need. There's only one thing you need to know about putting, is that where your putter face is aiming is where the ball's gonna go. So if I aim my putter face here, okay, and I hit the golf ball, it's gonna go left, okay? And if I have my putter face out to the right here, and I swing through, it's gonna go to the right. What we've got to understand is it's like a steering wheel. We're here to go ahead and direct the ball. So what we've got to learn how to do is control the face, and control the pace, face and pace. So let's take a look at this. We're going to keep our eyes on the hole and just go back and through as our nice mower comes up. Don't worry, in every video we do, there's either a helicopter, a mower, a blower, something's always going on. I'm excited about it, I love it. It keeps my heart rate down, keeps me sane. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have our eyes on the hole, okay? Now you might be thinking, I'm not good enough, what if I miss it? Look, all I'm asking you to do is set up with the putter face here, put your eyes on the hole, and then just putt towards the hole. I don't care what your grip looks like. I don't care what your setup looks like. What I want you to start to do is start to feel like that putter face is in your hand. So back and through like you're rolling the ball to the hole. Look, it's about that same movement. So let's give it another go. So here we go, here's 3 again. So remember, I don't care if your stance is open or your stance is closed or your grip is this way. What we've got to focus on is where the ball ends up. We want to win the game, and the game is how close can you get it to the hole. So whatever feels comfortable, and your eyes are going to be on the hole. Because think about it, if I was throwing a football, if I was throwing a baseball, if I was throwing a basketball, if I was bowling, if I was doing tennis, every single sport, your eye is on the hole. We've got to get you to get really good at reacting to that target. So as you work on these long putts, like I said, you're going to start to be able to control the face and you'll be able to control the distance. So again, let's go left hand low this time. Okay, let's go ahead and go stand sideways this time. Let's go ahead and stand backwards this time. Point is that if it had anything to do with setup, those balls couldn't be where they are right now, right? They're all within inside 2 feet of the hole. It's because the most important thing is what? You got to get the face pointing where you want the ball to go, and you got to get the pace so the ball gets to the hole. That is the fundamental of putting. This is where I want you to spend most of your time, because it's really going to help you throughout your chipping, into your pitching, and even into your full swing. All right, part 2 of how we go ahead and break 100 in your first 30 days of golfing. Well, it's the short putt. And this is the one where some golfers will call this the vomit zone. It's where you set up to the ball and you so want to make it that you know, it just gets a little bit scary, right? Because you're trying so hard to make it. What I want to teach you is this. Let's stop focusing on the hole and start focusing on a tee. Let's narrow the focus down, put a tee on the ground, and all I want you to work on is now face control. We don't need to work on pace because it's a 2-foot or a 3-foot putt. We need to work on face control. So we're going to set up. I don't care what the grip is. I don't care what your alignment is. All I care is that your putter face at impact is pointing at the tee. And if you just do this from about 2 feet away, you can see this is, you know, maybe almost 3 feet. So I'd say bring it in a little bit closer for you, 2 feet. Just start to practice hitting that tee. Because the point is this, if you hit the tee after 2 feet, guess what? You're not controlling the ball after 2 feet, 3 feet, or 4 feet. You've started the ball on your intended line. The more that you practice hitting to this little tee, oh, you see I missed that one, but the ball would have still gone in the hole. You're then going to be able to, when you actually are on the golf course, imagine that the tee is right behind the hole. And don't focus on, let's say, the whole dartboard, focus on the bullseye. So your game now is, once you've got the tee in place, imagine it being right behind the hole. And all you're going to do is narrow the focus and try and hit the tee. Because the beauty here is, even if you miss where the tee is, the hole is 4.5 inches wide. And if it's 4.5 inches wide and the tee is what, a couple millimeters wide, it's going to now enable you to go ahead and become a really good short putter without tension. So remember, put the tee on the ground. When you're working on short putting, all you're working on is controlling the face. You don't need to worry about pace. I am showing you how you are going to break 100 in your first 30 days of golfing. And what we've done to start with is obviously worked on those long putts, learn how to get good pace and control the face. Now we're going to go ahead and move off of the green and we're going to go towards chipping. Now this is where most amateur high handicap golfers, if you're shooting over 100, really struggle, because they're told by their friends and possibly their professional, here's your sand wedge, give it a go. Now the problem with this is it's an extremely difficult shot. Let me show you. Now you've got to make a big long swing. You've got to strike down on the golf ball. You've got to make sure you don't hit behind it. You better not hit the ball because you'll blade it over the green. You'll probably end up leaning back and trying to scoop it and hitting under it. And the thing is it becomes a very difficult game. So my thing is this, how about we throw away the sand wedge, right? And we go ahead and pick up our hybrid again. Because what we're going to do here is what's called putting with loft. So very simply, just like we had our putter in our hand, all we've got to do now is control the face and control the pace. So we don't need to get the ball in the air. We're just going to go ahead back and through like a putt, and the ball's going to run and run up onto the green. Now look, watch this one move towards the hole. It's a simple tool that you can use. Down the road, yes, you might have to learn how to, hit a wedge from this distance, but guess what? That's when you're trying to break 80, not 100. So again, let's just show you how simple this is. Let's go ahead and say we're not in the fairway. We're just off the green, slightly in the rough. Okay, real easy right here. Look at this. Again, putting with loft. I'm hoping my cameraman doesn't fall into the bunker, but maybe he does. It'd be great, make a great reel on Instagram, right? So all we're doing here is, can I control the face? Remember, where's the ball gonna go if the face is to the right? It's gonna go to the right. Where's it gonna go if it's to the left? It's gonna go to the left. So I'm lining up the face to my target, and then all I've got to do now is get the pace. Plain and simple, just putt through it, rolls up onto the green, and let me ask you this, wouldn't you take that every single time? You've got to make this game more simple, and we've got to make sure that when we're around the green, we're getting it close to the hole so we can have more 1 putts and 2 putts and no 3 putts. Okay, so now you might be asking, well, how far can you go back? Well, let's take a look. Now, again, we're going to work on pitching. We've got to learn a 50-yard golf shot, but what if we're right here? What about this same thing? We're on the fairway. Again, we've got a shot all the way to the back of the green. All we've got to do now is, just like the putting, we've been working on pace. We control the face, set up, and roll it up onto the green. The key here is simplifying the game. Your goal is to break 100, shoot in the 90s, and enjoy this game. To do that, you've got to simplify it. We're now back at about a 50-yard golf shot. So what we've learned so far is how to control pace on putting, how to control the face on short putting, and then how to join the two of those together when we're putting from the fringe with our hybrid, right? Which is really this focus of putting with loft, because the hybrid has loft on it versus a putter that does not have a lot of loft on it. So now we've got to come back and we've got to extend that golf swing. So if you imagine a full swing being all the way to the top, what we're going to do is swing to what's called a half swing, or a 9 o'clock swing on the clock. So here we've got to learn this 50-yard shot where we're going to go from 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Now the biggest thing here for all of us is to learn that the face is going to do the work. Look, there's loft on this. If I had a straight bat, like if I had a tennis racket and I wanted to hit it high, I would have to swing up on it, okay? But if you took a tennis racket and you opened the face and you were able to bend it open, and so you were holding the tennis racket but the face looked like this, if you hit through it straight, the ball would go high. Well, that's what a golf club is. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have a rehearsal swing, and we're going to make sure that we take that divot. I want you to start in the rough. A little bit of rough is going to get you that feeling of the club cutting through the grass. So you're trying to get out here and cut the grass for them, okay? So to do that, we can't lean back and swing up. We have to lean slightly forward and swing down and through. So now what we're going to do is we're going to show ourselves our 9 o'clock position. There's 9, and then through to 3. Just like that. I'm sure all of you would be very happy with that, as am I. Okay, and again, so back to 9, through to 3. Now, I'm going to hit a bad one here, and I want to show you what not to do. Oh, yeah, it's a terrible shot. No. What should I have done? I needed to go from here to here. Don't worry about the shot. Worry about what you can control. Focus in on that. Don't even worry about it. Just focus in and control. Back and through. Back and through. This is why I call them rehearsal swings and not practice swings, because a dress rehearsal is what you're about to do, right? So rehearse it back and through. Set up to it, go back and through. And see if you can finish with that nice solid balance, allowing yourself good balance to that follow through, pointing to the target. And then we're going to go to the range now, and we're going to start to work on these different length shots from 25, 50, and 75 to ensure that you can wedge the ball onto the middle of the green, right? And have those 2 putts and make our bogey. Okay, I hope you're going to love this video. Most importantly, what I'd love you to do is actually subscribe. I just found out that only 11% of you guys are subscribing. Imagine that. I think I have like 10,000 followers. If you guys all subscribed right now, it means I could have 100,000 followers, and I'd feel so good about myself, and I'd wake up in the morning and I'd feel whole. So please go ahead, subscribe. But really, subscribe so you can get the downloads, you can watch the videos, and you can break 85 consistently and love playing golf. Okay, so here we are on the driving range. We've come off the golf course. Remember, I'm teaching you how to score, but part of your practice is going to be coming to the driving range. Now, for most of us, it's most of the time on the driving range because we're working on swing, but I'm teaching you how to score. So I know that before you got to this driving range, you went up to the putting green, you did your long putting drills on pace and face, then you did your short putting drills towards your tee, then you went ahead and chipped with your hybrid and worked on putting with loft, and now you're here, correct? Because that's the protocol, that's what you got to follow. That's putts we've got to make sure you do. So what we're going to do now is we're not going to go to the longer clubs. We're going to start off with that wedge that we have, and we're going to go back to that 9 o'clock and through. And what I want you to do is repeat your rehearsal. So just watch. This is how many of you will be practicing to begin with. Okay, here, then through. Okay, got it, I got it. Oh, that was terrible. Grab another one. That's what I don't want you to do. If you want to be able to break 100 in your first 30 days of golfing, you've got to start to practice like somebody who shoots in the 70s. I've got to teach you how to practice like a pro, okay? So what a pro would do is go, okay, now what did I do wrong there? I decelled on the way down, so I need to get through to here. I've got to get to this position right here. You've got to start to discipline yourself, just like you would if you were with a child and they said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11. You'd be like, no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or A, B, C, D, E, F, J. No, A, B, C, D, E, F. You've got to help yourself. You can't just bring this into through osmosis. You've not played much golf before. So we're going to go back and then through to 3. So 9 to 3. And our goal is to go ahead and watch it until it lands. Teach yourself how to get to that follow through. Point being is, if you make 50 bad swings and you know, let's say you have 100 golf balls, you make 80 bad swings and 10 good ones and 10 okay ones. What did you get better at doing today? We made 80 bad swings, which means you got better at making bad golf swings. I want every swing to be good, so rehearse and then through. You may not hit good shots though, but you at least followed through and got that balance. We've got to teach you how to finish with balance. Start watching the LPGA, start watching the PGA Tour, start to see how professionals play. Every one of them, they have a rehearsal, they follow through with good balance. What you'll start to see then is a distance that you're hitting this. Maybe it's around about 50 yards, maybe it's around about 60 yards, but what I want to do is gauge that distance so we know if there's a target out there, let's say it's 50 yards. Now, if we went ahead after hitting maybe 20 of those, we're going to extend the swing a little bit longer, right? So instead of 9 o'clock, we'll go to 10 o'clock. So now 10, and then we're going to go all the way up to 2. Okay, so now here we go, from 10 to 2. That's going to go ahead and give us our second yardage, right? So that's probably going to be somewhere around about 75 yards. We're going to go ahead and run through another 20 golf balls like that. So if there's 100 balls in your bucket, we had 20 to go ahead and do pitching at 50, 20 to go ahead and do pitching at 75, and now we're going to cut down to 8 o'clock. We're not going to go to 9, we're going to go to 8. So we're going to go from 8 to 4. 8 to 4. So here we go. And that one's going to be around about your 25-yard club. This is where I want you to spend, like I said, 60 to 70% of your time on the driving range is working on your pitching. Because when you can learn how to control the length of your golf swing and control your balance finish, when we do go to our go-to club, it's going to be extremely easy to just go ahead and make that turn with good balance. So again, 50, 75, 20, and we've got the 8, 9, 10 o'clock swings. Now, before we head back out onto the golf course and get on the tee box, where we're not going to use driver, we're going to use our go-to club to put the ball in play at all costs, we're going to go ahead and simply take that 10 o'clock swing and apply it with that rehearsal to whether it be your 6 iron, your 5 hybrid, but your go-to club. And again, what we're looking for here is a good rehearsal, okay, and then a balanced follow through. Now, as we start to get warmed up with that, the key step now is learning how to miss it. Most of us come to the driving range and wish, oh, I could hit everything straight. What I want you to do now is pick out a straight target, and on the next shot say, I'm gonna do everything I can to make sure it goes straight or to the right. So if the face is to the right, remember with putting we taught you if the face is to the right, the ball will go to the right. So we're gonna go ahead and set up now, and it's okay to have the face there, but I want you to swing through to the finish and allow yourself to miss it to the right, because if there was water on the left, guess what? You're not in it. So you're going to do that for 10 golf balls, straight or right, and then your last 10, we're going to go ahead and we're going to go rehearsal, but the face is going to be shut, closed, so it's going to go to the left. So up to the top, balance follow through, hitting it to the left. So we've got to teach calibration, how to control the face, just like we've done through the whole golf bag. How do we control the face? So now you're going to come down to the very last part of your practice on the driving range. And what you're going to do here is you're going to go ahead and take a club and say, right, I can hit it straight or to the right. So you're going to set up, make a rehearsal, and you're going to go ahead and make sure go straight or to the right. Balance follow through. Then what you're going to do from there, if you hit your shot with your miss, way to go, you get 1 point. If you missed it left, you get no points. Now you're gonna go to your wedge, and you're gonna go ahead and choose a distance. All right, I'm gonna choose 50 yards. So that's my 9 o'clock to 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock, right here. Gonna set up, 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. There's my 50 yards. If you hit that green, you get another point. You're gonna have 10 shots, so 5 with your go-to club, 5 with your different wedges. How many out of 10? That'll give you a score. It makes it a competition. It turns the driving range into somewhere where you're preparing to go and get on the golf course. This is how you work on the driving range. Remembering the positions that we've talked about, we can go back just a shorter backswing from 8, right? Go through, feel like we're finishing down here, more at that 4 o'clock spot, 9 o'clock through to 3 o'clock, 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock, right? Okay, so now that we figured out what we have to do on the driving range, let's head back out on the golf course and teach you how to hit those tee shots. Now here we are on the tee box, and I know you want to bring out that beautiful mint driver that you just bought, that you just got fitted for, and oh, the joy, it's going to be so good. Listen, as a beginner golfer, I'm telling you right now, what you've got to learn how to do is keep the ball in play at all costs. Our goal is to have you break 100 in your first 30 days of playing golf. The only way you can do that is have numbers that are 5 and less. Think about it, 18 holes of 5 is 90. So we can't have 6, 7s, 8s and 9s on a scorecard. And the way you do that is take out this big dog and start losing golf balls. What we need to do is take either that hybrid that we've talked about, right? Possibly it might be a 5-wood for some of you, but mostly it's going to be a hybrid, your go-to club. And it's about teeing off and advancing the ball down the fairway, anywhere in play. Because if you think about this, if the hole, your par 4s, okay, are going to be on average, let's say around about 360 yards. If we could take that hybrid and hit it 150 2 times and be able to find it both times, we're within 60 yards of the green. And we've already worked on our wedging, haven't we? We know how to wedge the ball 50 yards, right? We can wedge it onto somewhere on the green, and then guess what? From there, all we have to do is putt the ball up into our 1-putt circle, tap it in, we make our bogey, you make a 5, you do that 18 times, you shoot 90, and everyone says, oh my goodness, you're unbelievably amazing that you broke 100 in your first 30 days of playing golf. No, what you did is you learned how to score instead of just swing the club. So remember, what we've got to do is get the ball in play at all cost. So here we are on the tee box. Now, what we're going to go ahead and suggest you do, like any other logical sport, is you figure out how to play this game with competence and confidence. And what I mean by that is, the crazy thing about golf is, if you're on the red tees, it's because you have to be a woman. And if you're a white tees, it's because you have to be a man. And if you're off the blue tees, it's because you have to be in a tournament. It's like, it's insane. It doesn't make any sense. What I want you to do is start off by learning how to break 100, right, from a shorter tee box. So think about it in skiing. Learn how to do good on the bunny run, and then move up, and then move up, and then move up. What you're going to find is that scoring, 70% of it is done inside of 100 yards. As we get you to hit this hybrid further and further, and as we start to get 3-wood and 5-wood and 3-wood onto your bag, you're going to be able to move back to further tee boxes. But the key thing here is being able to advance the ball down the fairway. Now, it doesn't have to look pretty, but what our focus is, and what we work on when we're on the range today, is making sure we repeat our rehearsal. So, rehearsal swing, nice and confident, knowing where the trouble is, okay? I know the trouble's on the left, so I'm going to go to the right. That's how we practice. And then here we go. We're just going to hit it down the fairway. Down the fairway it goes, about 150 yards, we're in play. Now you might be saying, but Will, you know, my swing's not that good. The key thing here is, it's not about learning how to hit it straight. It's learning how to put the ball in play, which is if there's trouble on the left, miss it to the right. If there's trouble on the right, miss it to the left. And what most of us do when we go to the driving range, we try and hit it straight. Good golfers know how to miss the ball better than bad golfers. Let me say that again. Good golfers know how to miss the ball better than bad golfers. And what I mean by that, it's still a miss, but it's in play. It's something that they can go and find. And remember, if you simplify it down to this go-to club, you hit this off the tee box, you hit this in the fairway until you get inside of your scoring zone. And now you've got your wedge, you get on the green, you can 2-putt, you can get out of there with your 5. Remember, we've got to simplify the game down. So when we're in the fairway, we really only have 2 clubs that we're going to use if we're outside of our scoring zone. Our scoring zone is we're inside of that, 40, 50, 60, 70 yards where we can pitch it onto the green and 2 putt. So you've got the hybrid that you hit off the tee box, or you've got your 7-iron. So the idea here is it's just simplifying it down. And what we want to do here is, again, keep the ball in play. This might be about your 150 club, let's say, and advance it down there. So remember, our focus here is to go ahead and repeat our rehearsal. Now this one, I'm not going to hit particularly well. I'm going to hit it along the ground. But I want you to understand this. As it goes along the ground, the key here is the ball's still in play. A lot of golfers will get so frustrated and turn and go, well, what did I do? And well, you hit the top of the ball is what you did. And they'll get all concerned and worried and what do I need to do in my backswing, my follow? No, the ball's in play. What we've got to do is learn how to advance the ball, keep it in play, because even though I top that one, I'm inside that 100 yards, I'm inside that scoring zone. It's given me an opportunity now to can I pitch it onto the green and then go ahead and 2-putt and make my bogey. So let's recap what we've done here today. So first and foremost, we understand that if you want to break 100 in your first 30 days, you've got to simplify the game. You've got to take clubs out of your bag. What I really want to see is 5 clubs, a go-to club, right? A club that you can put the ball in play every single time. Something that you can advance down the fairway like a 7-iron, a pitching wedge or a 9-iron that you can use around the green, a sand wedge for out of the bunker, and your putter. The next thing is understanding the first and the most important skill set is learning how to putt from distance, because it's going to teach you how to control the face and it's going to teach you how to control the pace. As you start to gain that skill, you'll put the ball close to the hole, and now we've got to learn how to control the face even more effectively by putting to that small tee. That second skill is so vital to learn how to control the face, because this now leads back to chipping. We're going to put away the sand wedge, put away the lob wedge, we're going to grab out our hybrid, and we're going to putt with loft. And when we putt with loft, we don't have to add loft to it. We don't need to do something special. All we need to do is control the face and the pace. That's going to get us close to the hole, getting us down in 3. That makes us our bogeys. As we move back into the fairway, we then got to work on our pitching. And we talked about the 9 o'clock pitching shot, and we really want to come up with a 25, 50, and 75 yard shot to make sure we can hit the middle of the green so we have a chance to 2-putt and make our bogey. And then from the tee box, yes, I know you have that lovely driver. We'll get to it soon. You can watch the other videos on how to do that. But what we've got to do, most importantly, is get the ball in play at all costs, which means we're not going to try and make perfect swings. We're going to learn how to miss it. Miss it to the right, miss it to the left. If there's trouble on the left, where are you going to miss it? To the right. If there's trouble on the right, where are you going to miss it? Straight or left. The idea here is learning to control the ball flight. The game of golf has become golf swing. Most 99% of instructors, they're teaching swing, and it's great, but they're not going to help you shoot lower scores if they don't work on the short game and they don't teach you how to score. So go and apply this, and I can't wait to hear about you breaking 100.